Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a month that is, without a doubt, going to go down in the history books. I'm talking about April 2026. It was an absolutely insane month for the AI industry, just packed with heavyweights clashing, completely unprecedented tech leaps, and one massive twist that genuinely shocked everyone, myself included. We're going to unpack all the source material today and give you the absolute clearest look at exactly what just happened. So let's jump right in. Look, to say April 2026 was absolutely insane for AI is honestly kind of underselling it. Think back to the first quarter of 2026 for a second. Things were relatively quiet, right? There was this lingering narrative floating around that maybe the industry had hit a plateau. That the massive exponential gains we'd been seeing were starting to flatten out. And then, well, April hit. The sheer volume of monumental updates from the two biggest players in the space, OpenAI and Anthropic, was just staggering. They were dropping major moves back to back, completely shattering that plateau narrative. But amidst all those incredible advancements, there was one specific announcement that caught the entire world completely off guard. We're going to get to that shocking betrayal in just a minute, but first, we really need to understand the pace of what went down. Let's just map this madness out chronologically so we can really feel the speed of this industry right now. We start on April 7th. Anthropic quietly rolls out the Claude Mythos Preview. Then, less than 10 days later, they follow it up with Claude Opus 4.7 on April 16th. Not to be outdone, OpenAI fires back on April 21st with GPT Image Gen 2. Just 48 hours after that, on April 23rd, they drop the highly anticipated GPT-5.5. And finally, on April 26th, the bombshell hits, the Sora shutdown. It was just this rapid-fire series of drops that totally redefined the landscape in under 30 days, completely shifting the balance of power.
Okay, Section 1. OpenAI's major upgrades.
Let's break down OpenAI's super aggressive moves in the back half of the month, starting with the launch of GPT 5.5 on the 23rd. The source material is crystal clear here. This isn't just some minor incremental tweak. GPT 5.5 is a massive leap forward. The best way to think about it, and the sources literally point this out, is that it's like GPT-5 finally finished its homework. So what does that actually mean for us? It means we're crossing the line from a helpful chatbot that, drafts your emails to a reliable digital worker. GPT 5.5 is vastly better at autonomous computer use. It can navigate software, run complex deep research tasks overnight, and write production-level code without you having to constantly babysit it. It's moving from a tool you talk to an agent you deploy.
But they didn't stop at text and reasoning. Just 2 days prior, OpenAI dropped GPT Image Gen 2. This is a brand new, state-of-the-art model that is just blowing past its predecessors in overall quality. But the real story here, it isn't just prettier pixels. It's the vastly superior instruction following. In the AI image space, instruction following is basically the holy grail. We've all felt the pain of prompt engineering, right? Trying to coax the AI into putting a specific object on the left side of the screen with exact lighting, only for it to completely ignore you. Well, Image Gen 2 actually listens to exact layout requests. It's a total game changer for designers and marketers who need actual precision, not just random inspiration.
All right, moving on to Section 2, Anthropic's locked firewall. Now, while OpenAI was launching all these products to the masses, Anthropic ran this fascinating, highly exclusive dual strategy. On one hand, you have Claude Opus 4.7. That's their broad release for the public. Their strongest workhorse model yet for coding, agents, and heavy corporate lifting. But on the other hand, you have the Claude Mythos Preview. And here is the massive twist. They did not release this broadly. They locked it down to exactly 11 companies. Why just 11? Because Claude Mythos represents a terrifying leap in cybersecurity capabilities. It's so dangerously good at identifying vulnerabilities and writing exploits that Anthropic basically said, nope, it's too irresponsible to release this to the public. They're strictly using those 11 vetted companies to red team the model, patching vulnerabilities behind a firewall before bad actors can even touch it. It really highlights this growing tension we're seeing. These models are getting so capable, they're bordering on weapons.
Which brings us to Section 3, the $65 billion war chest. Look, to compete at this bleeding edge level and train models as powerful as Mythos, you need capital. $40 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. Google stepped up and committed an initial $10 billion to Anthropic right out of the gate, with the potential to reach an insane $40 billion total if specific performance targets are met. Why is Google doing this? It's pure strategy. They're basically buying insurance. They're terrified of Microsoft and OpenAI establishing an unbreakable monopoly on the foundational layer of the internet. By pumping these astronomical GDP-level sums into Anthropic, Google is ensuring there's a viable, well-funded competitor keeping OpenAI in check.
And, as if that wasn't wild enough, Amazon separately agreed to invest up to $25 billion directly into Anthropic's arsenal. This creates such a fascinating dynamic. Amazon and Google are fierce rivals in cloud computing, but they're both pouring tens of billions into the exact same AI startup. It's the ultimate proxy war. They're essentially funding a rebel alliance because neither company can afford to let Microsoft's early bet on OpenAI dictate the future of global enterprise tech.
But honestly, the craziest part of this whole funding story is the $100 billion Anthropic has committed back to Amazon in AWS crowd spend over the next 10 years. It brilliantly illustrates the circular economy of modern AI. It's basically cash for compute. Amazon gives Anthropic billions in funding, and Anthropic is contractually obligated to use that money to buy compute power directly from Amazon servers. It's a financial fortress designed to lock in server dominance and secure the massive compute power needed for the next decade.
All right, Section 4, the sudden death of Sora. So after all this high-flying tech and proxy warfare, April 26th brings a massive, screeching halt to the industry. This is the surprise that genuinely caught everyone off guard. Step 1, the Sora app is officially shut down. Step 2, API access for developers gets permanently cut in September. And Step 3, the real reason behind it all, OpenAI is going all in on enterprise and pulling the plug on consumer experiments. Think about the cultural impact Sora had. This was the text-to-video tool that literally broke the internet. It had indie creators dreaming of making feature films from their couches, and Hollywood executives genuinely sweating about the future of production. People were adapting their whole future workflows around this tool. And now, it's just dead. OpenAI is pivoting hard. They realize the real money isn't in $5 consumer subscriptions for cool video generators. It's in massive, multi-million-dollar contracts with Fortune 500 companies. It's a huge betrayal of consumer expectations, flipping the script from AI for everyone to AI for the enterprise.
So let's just pull all these threads together real quick. We just witnessed an absolutely breathless month defined by incredible contrast. On one side, unprecedented leaps. OpenAI launched the highly autonomous GPT-5.5 and the state-of-the-art Image Gen 2. Anthropic dropped their powerhouse Opus 4.7 while simultaneously locking the super dangerous Claude Mythos behind a strict 11-company firewall. We saw an astonishing $65 billion in fresh proxy war investment flow into Anthropic. And yet, right in the middle of all this staggering growth and unimaginable wealth, a beloved consumer dream was killed off with the sudden death of Sora.
As you process these rapid, industry-shaking shifts, going from the absolute heights of consumer excitement to this lockdown, heavily funded enterprise dominance, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. With Sora dead and the enterprise clearly winning, is the era of consumer AI officially over? Are the days of world-changing tools being handed directly to the public coming to an end, replaced by these incredibly powerful systems hidden safely behind corporate firewalls? It's a really fascinating question to ponder as we watch this landscape evolve. If you want to keep making sense of these massive shifts and stay ahead of the curve, remember to keep seeking out clear, structured info. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.